2. Who noticed I'm wearing a jacket? Not me. So yeah, welcome to episode 2. Well, I'll talk about percussion this time actually. I was going to do a different thing, but I'll talk about percussion. So let's get straight into it once I can find it. Alright, start with these then. After I hiccup a bit. Whoa. Alright, which one are we missing? This one. That's not all of it, by the way. That's just some of my percussion. Because I know, what I don't like is when a lot of trap music uses that open hi-hat sound, that like yeah, that just an open hi-hat. So well, I don't like it. I think it sounds too just sounds too computerized, and I know it is all computerized because trap music really is like can't really play it live, but I just don't like it. It sounds just too corny and electronic. So what I do is I use this ride I put it in my kit because I use it so frequently, and basically that just hits on every 1 and an 8. So on the 8 it hits underneath the actual snare and the clap as well. So it does kind of it adds the kind of hit to the snare as well. It's a bit of percussion underneath the snare, which is good. I think it makes it a bit more exciting, a bit fuller up, I think. So all I did on this, because I think it's quite a good sound already. I mean, the actual kit I got them from had a lot of high quality sounds in them, so it's not much I need to do. There's no EQ in. Like, I could EQ it actually. And like you just have to press it and you have to look. There's a little bit low and you can see it kind of lights up a little bit. So I'll just do it just for the shits and giggles. Alright, there you go. So that's the EQ there. And again, like I said in the last episode with the stereo separation, all I've done is just a preset and then stereoize 2. And then here, this knob here, stereo separation, if you click, hold, and then push it towards your screen, it takes it to the right. And just a stereo separation. If I just did that, then it's a bit more. It's more stereo than just adding the preset from the plugin alone. Sorry about my cold. This has come out of nowhere in the last 5 minutes. So yeah, no. Actually, what I should have done is show you without the effects on them. It doesn't sound that bad. I think all these are from my kit. Yeah, they are. You can see flames. Let's just get rid of that one. Okay, so I put this one on the 8 as well, which coincidentally will hit on the snare and the clap as well. So I guess if I added those in. What is that? Do I even? No, I don't use that. Get out of my song. Yeah, it just sounds a bit more exciting. It sounds a bit fuller underneath as well. That was sounds really loud. That's my clap. Alright, whatever. Getting off subject. So the same again. There's nothing complicated about what I do here. For some reason, I haven't done any stereo separation on that. But it's just the same preset again. Stereoize 2, and again stereoize 2 on this one, which is Percussion. This one. I just added the Karma FX reverb, which is free. I spoke about it so many times that people come to me saying like they found it on a website they have to pay for, and it's not. It's they ask for a donation. You don't have to donate. I donated, I think, because you can donate if you have PayPal. So well, I'll explain to you what you do when you get this Karma FX reverb. You also get this Karma FX delay, the EQ and filter. I've used the filter a lot. I don't use the other two that much, but you can use the filter and a reverb, which are really good. Because the filter in Fruity Loops, the Fruity Free filter and Fruity Filter 2 or whatever, it just sounds so bad. Like when if you automate the filtering in, it just sounds so stupid because it's free and it's stock. It just sounds silly. I mean, I used to use it, so I'm not gonna hate on it, but it just sounds stupid. So back to the reverb. I just added a bit of reverb. just to give it a bit more of a tail. Obviously it's so quiet actually in the mixer, you won't be able to see it unless you really sort of squint. But yeah, and again, stereo separation, that's pretty much all I do on my percussion, is just stereo separate it, because the higher frequencies I want to sort of sit like more stereo, and then the bass, obviously you can't really stereoize bass, that's a stupid idea. So it's kind of like an upside down pyramid, like the higher the frequency the more I want it to be separated. So yeah, it's like an upside down triangle really. I want my bass to sit in the middle, and I eventually want it to work its way out. You know, the higher frequencies sit at the top and they're more stereoized, because then everything's sitting in the right place. It's just that will be a higher quality mix, and that'll be a lot more exciting to listen to. So phone's blowing up. Fanboys. Right. So okay, that's that. I'll show you that in the mix at the end with the drums from the first bit. And then my hi-hats, nothing special. I don't think I even EQ my hi-hats. I really should. That sounds kind of bad on my headphones. What I'll talk about here is my hi-hats. This is kind of my new technique I do on all of them. So what I do is the kick hits here, here, and here. So what I tend to do is on these kicks I tend to speed it up. So if I just, what should I do? Put in the drums really quickly. I'll just put in the kick and play it. Ah, the snares. You can hear when the kick actually happens, that the hi-hat speed up, and it'll do it again, but the hi-hats go even faster. And I don't know why I do it. I think it's just kind of a cool technique. If I had the bass as well. I just think it sounds kind of cool on top of the kick. There's no real reason for it. It doesn't make anything any better or any worse. But for people who don't know how to pan in the pattern in the actual piano roll, what you do is this grey section here. If you just right click here and you get all these options, you can mess with all kinds of things in here. So what I do is you click note pan, and then you can see where I've been messing with them. What I do to make it a bit more exciting when you listen to it is just when they speed up, I just sort of pan them. So if you listen for it now, let's play the pan by itself. You can hear it if you're listening to headphones, especially you'll be able to hear that. And then again, when it speeds up, and all it really is you just have to click and then they'll go everywhere you want them to go, kind of thing. So it's like, it's gonna be really complicated now, because these are a bitch. They're little ducks. But right, yeah, we're back. That's good enough. I'm not gonna save this probably. Oh shit. Whatever, that'll do. See, such bitches. You gotta be super precise, otherwise the other one will come down. Alright, whatever. And that just makes it a bit more exciting. I know a few other producers actually do that as well. I'm not the one to come up with that. I just appreciate the technique. So that's my percussion, I think. Just, oh, what is this? Let me just figure out what this is. This might be important. Alright, no, that's got a bit of percussion. This is just the intro section for anyone's actually heard this track. That's the intro section where it comes in with a different drum and snare pattern at the beginning. What I do, I guess I could consider this percussion. If you have Orchestral, the marching kit. Where is it? Is this in Orchestral? Did I EQ it a bit probably for the snare? Yeah, I got a bit of the snare EQ here because obviously it's a snare. And once again, you can see the actual occurrence, the actual frequency is actually exactly the same, 243 Hz as the previous snare in the previous episode. It's exactly the same for some reason. What a coincidence. But you can see that, and I boosted the high end a bit to give it that presence in the mix. Nothing complicated again. If I just mute that one, I'll mute everything. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. I think I'm okay. It's tickling my nose, but whatever. I might have done that again actually. Oh, okay, but I forgot I had a snare roll in here, so I'll talk about snare rolls in this one because I don't think snare rolls are big enough to have their own episode. So, which pattern are you on? This one, right? Cool. Again, I'm still on the pan thing, on the pan section of the piano roll, so you can see how I pan these notes. What to do this kind of technique, all you have to do to make it a bit easier is if you right click, like if I right clicked here and held it down, then like when I move this note, it moves all of them. So I'm holding on to this one, but they all move, like they'll all be in a perfect line. I'm not sure what's that's actually called, but then you can just sort of bring them all down so that they're all like transcending in the same kind of order. But I think it was about here, because then they're pretty much on this, like they're pretty much, that's the same height as this one almost, but whatever. It's not, you have to be precise with it. It's just, again, it adds a better quality to the mix. So I'll show you this snare roll here, and then talk about, actually before I show you the snare roll, the snares again. As you can see, I boosted it where there's a bit of presence here. This is 500 hertz. I can boost it like. Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever. There's almost no difference. This sounds quieter apart from anything, but I've just boosted the frequencies I want and taken away the frequencies I don't want. So, but I only use this for the little section, so I didn't put too much mastering and thought into it. But here's this now. And if you listen to it on headphones, you would have heard some snares happen in one ear, obviously because it's panned here. You'd hear these snares all happen in your left. I'm not sure what side that is. No, it starts from the right to the left. I heard that. Yeah, it'll be in your right ear. So if you have stereo speakers as well, or any speakers, you should be able to hear this coming out of one speaker. So that's just the use of the pan technique there, and that's my snare roll. There's not much really to talk about in snare rolls, really. I mean, I'm not the most creative with snare roll. I guess you just start from a higher pitch and go down. But you can do it all crazy. You can actually, if I can just right, go like snare roll. Yeah. But yeah, okay. So that was my percussion talk. Well, I'll just play it for. I know this hasn't been the most informative episode because this isn't the best part. The best part's coming up next. I'll be talking about the violins in this track, which are my favourite part. I'll just give you a sneak peek, so you know to stick around. So make sure you stay around for that one. So I'll just quickly show you everything I've talked about together so far. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I'm pretty sure. Forgot the hi-hat. So that's you can hear it coming together. You can hear that sounds quite good at the moment. Obviously, it's not exciting. Last thing I forgot to talk about, and I feel stupid for it. It's just the cymbal, which is muted. Obviously, that counts as percussionist cymbal. So the stereo separation on that one, and again, I've just taken away frequencies I don't want and boosted on the high end. So it's more present in the mix. It's got that higher frequency because this will only hit every 8 bars, so it's not going to be too in your face if this has high frequency boost, as you can hear. So yeah, that's been episode 2. Thank you for watching. You got violins and all the brass coming up next, so make sure you watch that one. I'll see you guys in a bit.